to be here. Many years ago, I met Czesław Miłosz, and he dropped a large bar of chocolate on the book that I put under his nose, and he smeared chocolate all over the book, and then he looked at the poem, which I said I would like him to sign, and he just looked at it. It was written in 1936, and I met him in 1996. He just went, "Ah, very good poem." And I thought, fucking hell, 60 years and you're still looking at your work and thinking that you're pleased with it. And covering it in chocolate. I'm going to read for about 10 minutes, and I'm going to read translation of Petrarch's poem number 23, and then well, the worst thing you can do at a reading is read a long poem, and I'm going to read a long poem for 10 minutes. And then the worst other thing you can do is explain it, I think. And I'm going to explain it to you now. The poem is a translation of Petrarch's poem number 23, and what I've done is replaced all nouns with the dictionary definitions of the nouns. And then I have taken that poem and replaced all the nouns with the dictionary definitions of those nouns. And so I'll read the original part of the original poem first, and then get on with it. I saw a plane without wings, and it looked like me in the air there, noble, coward, and magnificent. At a cocktail party to protest the beastliness of war, an enlightened being sees themselves as no different from a fish, with a swan's voice the colour of a swan, singing in a strip joint called Beaver Las Vegas, holding the beloved to the swan body for the first time in 4,000 years, purged of the toxic yellow light which emanates from processed cheese slices, breasts lurching like a motorboat across a heavy swell, in love with the sight of the swan's sperm swiftly swimming between the beloved's legs in search of her eggs through the strawberry lube to fallopian tube, and riding the car which Thelonious Monk once took up her belly. A trumpet standing for love instead of love standing for a trumpet. So that's the original Petrarch's poem. And this is the translation of it. John Ashbery once said that the pleasure of reading Proust was that it was like drowning in the dictionary. And I hope that is what this experience is like for you. It's the closest I've ever got to writing erotica, and I'd like to share it with you. Good thing there's a podium. I saw a flat magnitude that has length and breadth without thickness, on which a straight wire connecting one telegraphic station with another, joining any two commas, the semicolon, the colon, the full point, the point of interrogation and exclamation, on it would wholly lie, without each of the members of a man which may be useful to him in flight, or edible viscera of a butchered animal by which a girl, a maiden, a stroke of work, or any small trivial or contemptible person or thing is able to fly. And it looked like me in the invisible gaseous most important element in any existence, surrounding the worldly things as opposed to spiritual things there. An English maker or adapter of plays, one who, or that which, quiets or calms, one who adjusts a difference, a slender grooved instrument upon which a knife is made to slide, histrion, thespian, role player, but one who sings, especially, born in Teddington, known for his felicitous association of objects not usually connected, fondness, showiness, and what Time magazine called a faculty possessed by animals of perceiving external objects by means of impressions made upon certain organs of personal pin or gnomon. a combination of sack-like dilation of the cheeks of certain monkeys and rodents used for holding food, and elegance by virtue of being fashionable, cold in the head, catarrh, and the state of being balanced by equal weight or power, and magnificent. At an alcoholic fluid to be taken into the stomach for quenching thirst or for other purposes, made by mixing various disembodied souls, social act of collecting or bringing together, usually of invited insects that live in the nest of another without compulsion, to protest the beastliness of Warwick. An unenlightened living or extinct member sees themselves as no different from a flat, food and service supplied to a customer at a restaurant of the most common and most useful metallic element, large and thick collection of trees, etc., to strengthen a ray or collection of parallel rays, or marijuana cigarette, with a large aquatic bird, not being in a morbid state, formed in the expanded upper half of the end of the windpipe or trachea, the state of excited interest or feeling produced on the tinge, produced by one of a number of lines or trees of a large aquatic bird, singing in an adult entertainment place or county in which anything is alleged to have happened, in which the form of erotic entertainment in which a dancer gradually undresses to music, or other erotic or exotic leaping, tripping, or measured stepping irregularly performed, called Beaver Las Vegas, holding the one greatly loved to the large aquatic bird, physical arrangement of parts, of organs, including the dice, in a bad sense, tendency to transient or physical pleasure and medium of communication between one person or body and another, for the first performance or occurrence of an action or event in 4,000 complete sentences of 365 times during which someone's life continues, 5 goddesses of the seasons, 48 written accounts of what transpired at a meeting, and 46 persons who assist, direct, and support others engaged in fighting a duel. Purged of the toxic yellow natural one who exerts power that stimulates the instrument of seeing, which emanates from processed important bodily form of a human being, thin, broad, fragment, or part of anything separated from the whole, or golf club having an iron head with the face nearly horizontal, 2 milk-secreting wind instruments containing numerous pipes of various dimensions and kinds, lurching like a motor-driven vehicle, utensil, or dish, somewhat resembling a boat in shape across a heavy parish priest of distinction, or of dashing or fashionable things seed in an intense nervous sensibility to external objects, of deep bent of mind or tender liking for a character or part or an event with the event instrument of seeing, of the large aquatic birds, screw having threads, reproductive body whose particles move easily among themselves, swiftly swimming between the much-loved thing, living, self-conscious cottages, members of a man which may be useful to him in flight, on which are one of 3 relations or conditions, or certain marine animals resembling a flower, walks or stands in search of her spheroidical, reproductive, main, central, or principal part, as of a tree, army, country, etc., through the pulpy red edible produce of animals of this essential import, used to reduce, act of rubbing the surface of one body against that of another, to either of 2 parts of the boiler, containing water and surrounded by flame or hot gases, in females of the mammalia, among which the series of egg-shaped ornaments travel, and riding the place where one may ride, a medium for the expression of achievement of something, an enclosed passer-by or passer-by sections into which the hold of a ship is divided, which an American jazz performer, especially a skilled performer on the piano, and specifically an author of a piece of music, considered one of the men of extraordinary bulk and stature, of American sounds, of higher or lower pitch, begotten of uniform and synchronous vibrations, once took up her division or apportionment, or the human trunk or main part below the coffin, containing the enlargement or series of enlargements at the centre of the earth, a tubular or conical journal, bearing contrivance or implement, with a flared, hollow, perforated sphere of metal containing a loose ball which causes it to sound when moved, standing for an intense feeling of deep love, zealous or tender attachment, instead of an intense feeling of deep love, zealous or tender attachment, standing for a tubular or conical coin made of copper, brass, or bronze, one who, or that which, is made a means, or with a flared cup, with a flaring mouth containing a clapper or tongue, is caused to serve a purpose. Thank you.